city and try and ask ourselves whether going forward we need to have light trains so that the city can transform itself and use our time more better than the times we use when you look at the traffic. You realize how just this expressway has been a game changer for anyone who wakes up and says he's going to the airport. But you see, it's just for those who are going to the airport mostly, and maybe when you're cruising to go to Mombasa on the other side. But what about for us within? And Madam Speaker, you'll agree with me that within, we need at least to have a transport system that first is very effective, but also cost effective, Madam Speaker. And I know if we bring in the light trains within the city, the trams that we are talking about, we'll find ourselves with a better city and more a city that is, it will decongest itself, and we will find ourselves doing a lot of things, Madam Speaker, and saving a lot. Madam Speaker, when I look at the bill, and I want to say this, Madam Speaker, when you look at both bills, the one that we were talking about, the infrastructure fund, because all these are investments that we are trying to say, how do you bring in a fund that now expands your country to a better country? Look at how we've just gone into a war, and look at how the UAE is now suffering. But I can tell you, from China to Russia, they have a railway line. So you might find guys just using that railway line, going to Moscow or doing other things. And that's why when we talk about the railway line and the SGR especially, we want to see it go to Kisumu. We want to see it go to Malaba. We want to, we always ask ourselves, why is it in a country? And Madam Speaker, it's a challenge, and we need to give the president at least to appreciate that once in a while he's very bold to just stand and think of something and be very forceful to make it work. Because let me tell you, when you ask yourself, so we did the SGR and took it to Naivasha, then does it benefit the country? No. Does it benefit wananchi who are going those sides? No. Why does it have to pass and you just see it even passing through Rongai? Yet when you're going to Rongai, you find yourself in a crisis of transport every day. Nobody has a question, an answer for it. So these are some of the things we say. Let us use our resources prudently. So when we are talking of this levy, I am hoping it's going to unlock Kenya Railways now to ask itself a question. How do we expand and get out of where we've stopped within, when you look at where the railway line is, as the majority leader said, even me, I always pass there and ask myself, what was the purpose? And in that railway line, 5 kilometers to 10 kilometers, we have old women from Kawangware, which their land was used. They have never been paid, but even the railway itself is not using the same land. So you find it very, very unfortunate for our country. So even as I support this, Madam Speaker, I want to ask Kenya Railway, look back within all the people who were under the SGR, especially the SGR that comes from Nairobi going to Naivasha. There are many people who have gone to court, they are crying, and if this levy can help them to unlock all these payments that they needed to have done, I think that would be a better thing. But having said that also, Madam Speaker, when I look at the fund, which now proposes a board that shall consist of a chairperson appointed by the president, the principal secretary, the attorney general. One of the things also we need to ask ourselves, I know in all, both funds, we will establish also a team. But I want to tell the team, for example, today we have the roads that are being done. And we are having a lot of challenges where the agencies, you find Kenya Power coming in telling you, you have now dropped this, they'll have to pick you, the contractor gets out of sight, and all these things. So as we establish this, is there a way we can also ensure within those clauses, we have to bring in these agencies so that when something is being done, it is clearly, there will not be bottlenecks where you have one of the agencies, which are government agencies, coming in to say, you need to pay us because now you are taking part of the road where we had put our